What's up, everybody? Welcome to the ReCoop. I'm your host, Cooper Daniels, and today is Wednesday, July 31st. I was like, why is it doing that? Is because I opened YouTube to share the link because on Twitter, um, I changed my profile about, I don't know, 5 days ago. Uh, there was a conflict between the guy behind Scully Friends and the Doofy Project. And then the Doofy Project was dumping all of his Scully Friends. And then there was a Scully friend with a crown on it. And I was like, I like both these guys. I'll give him his exit liquidity and I'll support both of them. I give him some money and I'll rock the Scully friend, King Koopa. You know what I'm saying? But then after I posted it, Doofy was like, shit, I didn't mean to post that one. I meant to post the others. Bro, will you sell it back to me? And I said, sure, bro. I'll sell it back to you, dude. I want to be part of the solution. You know what I'm saying? So he sent me back. I bought it for 150 algo. He sent me back 200 algo as a gift, as a thanks for doing this for me, man. And I said, no problem. 50 algo, a little profit. I'm out here making moves. You know what I'm saying? But now, because of some new rules on X, because I changed my stupid profile picture, it won't stream on X. And that's where everybody's watching my show now, folks. So now it's me and a starting five basketball team. Folks, I could give a shit. We're going to learn today because I haven't been checking the news. I've been seeing that there was an Algorand transparency report. I'm seeing the Tiny token is doing very well in the Algorand ecosystem. Tiny airdropped on the Algorand eco. God damn it. I said ecosystem twice. The Algorand community. We got an airdrop and the price is pumping. Now, I would potentially advise caution on aping into a inflationary token that will be inflating every week through farm rewards, and then next year through a massive amount of, I think, governance rewards. So you're definitely, but at the same time, a lot of people are going to be locking in a lot of tokens for 4 years. And while a billion total supply is a lot, it's not that much. So we should, we're going to look at that. We'll see how much of that is circulating. We'll check out Vestige later in the show. And then we'll also watch, oh shit, it's already 11:22. We'll watch JPOW too. So we got to get going, man. I can't just be talking to you about nonsense while Big Daddy JPOW is talking. I think that they kept the interest rates. They did not raise or they did not cut interest rates, but I think they indicated that cuts are coming soon. I think the market likes that. Chips are rebounding from, I guess, other reasons. I don't know. I did not, unfortunately, Jason, I did no research on Moon Juice, and I'm seeing that it is pumping out of control. I'm also seeing that RWA is pumping. I think we have a little, what do they call that? CTOing. I think a group is CTOing the red wine hooker blow gold oil Inu. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, good job, bro. I've been living it up over there in Miami. All right, what's up? Good morning, Jack Snow. Oh, by the way, it would be unbecoming of me not to mention that Coop is going live on Probit tomorrow. Not wild. You can deposit your Coop right now. Dump it tomorrow. That's not what we're advising. But if you wanted to deposit, I mean, deposits are open. So how about that? Deposits are open on Probit. ASA, meme coin, fully distributed, full supply, circulating coin on Probit on a centralized exchange, ready for action, thriving over on AVAX. Folks, sometimes things just make sense. You know what I'm saying? RWA, there we go. Right on cue. Red wine hooker blow gold oil Inu. Coop. I hope you did your research last week when I told you about moon juice. I kind of like moon juice. It's like a weird name. I don't mind the name. I told you about it at 8,000 market cap, based OG dev from Akita with amazing tokenomics. Who doesn't like a buy, hold, earn? I slept on it. I own no moon juice. No moon juice for me, man. No moon juice for me. Bank on Algorand likes Mooj. Is Mooj moon juice? What if instead of watching JPOW, we just watched me go Mooj? Moon juice? Because that's what it makes me want to do. Bullish trade. Coop made 25% by tokenizing Doofy's regret. You know what I'm saying? Hey, guys, I'm out here profiting off of sorrow. You know what I'm saying? Dirty liberal voter. Fucking squeeze 50 algo out of that dirty liberal voter. Donald Trump. We haven't even talked about last week. I didn't do a show on Monday because I got this cut. Look at this man. Got a cut. Oh, DJ T showed up to Bitcoin conference and read that teleprompter. You know what I mean? Read it. Was like being like, oh, is it not? Holy shit. Is this true? Is this true what I'm reading right now? Oh my God, he doesn't care. But he's signaling that he does, man. And that's all that matters. He gets into power. He's going to have his friends be like, you guys handle it. Came out with some shoes today. Look like a, like they use the lasso tool on preview to take out the Bitcoin thing and put them on a pair of sneakers, pair of Converse. It just is not. I mean, look, in a industry that I believe, even though obviously the industry is full of a lot of charlatans and all this, but I still believe that we care about authenticity, even though we are in an industry of a bunch of bullshit. At our core, especially the community that I've been riding with for a while, specifically the Algorand community, is that we kind of like we smell the bullshit. We prefer the authenticity and people that can say the word, but we prefer that. And man, that does not feel authentic. But at the same time, you know, for RFK, who I do support, came out and he made some crazy promises. So even that's a little like, okay, bro, what else are you gonna do? You know, are we gonna just have Satoshi be the president, but we never see him? And those promises were crazy too. Oh, I don't even have my mic in front of me. How does that make you guys feel? Do I even have it on? This is great. Fucking love this, dude. No, I don't even have it on. Who cares? Fuck it. You don't need to hear me. Jesus Christ. There's only 6 of you. But Coop, tiny is new and shiny. I'm sure Borderless and other VCs that got a large bag will hold it, right? Oh, shit. Bank on Algorand makes a good point. If you remember, guys, VCs have provided a lot of liquidity to the Tiny Man protocol over many years. And now they just got an incredibly large airdrop. I'll be waiting, folks. I didn't sell my airdrop. I'll be waiting, but I'm not trying to FUD it at all. Maybe you're right. Maybe, and there is only 1 billion of them. You know what I mean? So price discovery could be interesting. It seems to be settling around 4 cents right now. I don't know. We'll look at it later. But I have my doubts. I have my doubts on this because it's going to be an ever-releasing thing. And it was, but if it's set up right, which I have not fully explored, you know, shit can happen. If it seems like it might be set up a little bit like Aerodrome, that seems to be working pretty well, even though that is extraordinarily inflationary. Sorry, guys. Jesus Christ. The hair, you know what I'm saying? I needed to get it out. See, now that it's cut, there's more hair inside my skull. This is the way it works. When you cut it, like all the hair goes inside. So it's like all clogged in there. But when you grow it out, you have less hair around your brain. That's what I heard. Good morning, Big D Coop. Hey, man. Hey, fisherman, man. Oh, we got the Algorand transparency report as reported by our boy Fisherman.algo, the man, the myth, the legend behind NF Domains, one of the more successful projects on Algorand. What do we got? They were a little more prudent with their cash. We could look at that if we want after old Fetty. Hey, should we go watch J Pow? Let's go watch J Pow. You guys into it? Anybody want to watch J Pow with me? Let's fucking do it. Who cares? Nobody cares about anything anymore. We're not going to watch him. We're not going to watch him talk for that long. Okay? Stream. We're not going to watch the whole thing. But we'll hear what he has to say, and then we'll hear what these donkeys ask him, and then we'll move the hell on. At 11:30, that's right now, isn't it? Okay, there we go.
Inflation has eased substantially from a peak of 7% to 2.5%. We are strongly committed to returning inflation to our 2% goal in support of a strong economy that benefits everyone. Today, the FOMC decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged and to continue to reduce our securities holdings. We are maintaining our restrictive stance of monetary policy in order to keep demand in line with supply and reduce inflationary pressures. We are attentive to risks on both sides of our dual mandate, and I will have more to say about monetary policy after briefly reviewing economic developments. Recent indicators suggest that economic activity has continued to expand at a solid pace. GDP growth moderated to 2.1% in the first half of the year, down from 3.1% last year. Private domestic final purchases, or PDFP, which excludes inventory investment, government spending, and net exports, and usually sends a clearer signal of underlying demand, grew at a 2.6% pace over that same period, the first half. Growth of consumer spending has slowed from last year's robust pace, but remains solid. Investment in equipment and intangibles has picked up from its anemic pace last year. In the housing sector, investment stalled in the second quarter after a strong rise in the first. Improving supply conditions have supported resilient demand and the strong performance of the U.S. economy over the past year. In the labor market, supply and demand conditions have come into better balance. Payroll job gains averaged 177,000 jobs per month in the second quarter, a solid pace, but below that seen in the first quarter. The unemployment rate has moved up, but remains low at 4.1%. Strong job creation over the past couple of years has been accompanied by an increase in the supply of workers, reflecting increases in participation among individuals aged 25 to 54 years and a strong pace of immigration. Nominal wage growth has eased over the past year, and the jobs to workers gap has narrowed. Overall, a broad set of indicators suggest that conditions in the labor market have returned to about where they stood on the eve of the pandemic, strong but not overheated. Inflation has eased notably over the past 2 years, but remains somewhat above our longer-run goal of 2%. Total PCE prices rose 2.5% over the 12 months ending in June. Excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 2.6%. Longer-term inflation expectations appear to remain well anchored, as reflected in a broad range of surveys of households and businesses and forecasters, as well as measures from financial markets. My colleagues and I are acutely aware that high inflation imposes significant hardship as it erodes purchasing power, especially for those least able to meet the higher costs of essentials like food, housing, and transportation. Our monetary policy actions are guided by our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. In support of these goals, the committee decided at today's meeting to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 5.25% to 5.5%, and to continue reducing our securities holdings. As the labor market has cooled and inflation has declined, the risks to achieving our employment and inflation goals continue to move into better balance. Indeed, we're attentive to the risks to both sides of our dual mandate. We have stated that we do not expect it will be appropriate to reduce the target range for the federal funds rate until we have gained greater confidence that inflation is moving sustainably toward 2%. The second quarter's inflation readings have added to our confidence, and more good data would further strengthen that confidence. We will continue to make our decisions meeting by meeting. We know that reducing policy restraint too soon or too much could result in a reversal of the progress we have seen on inflation. At the same time, reducing policy restraint too late or too little could unduly weaken economic activity and employment. In considering any adjustments to the target range for the federal funds rate, the committee will carefully assess incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. As the economy evolves, monetary policy will adjust in order to best promote our maximum employment and price stability goals. If the economy remains solid and inflation persists, we can maintain the current target range for the federal funds rate as long as appropriate. If the labor market were to weaken unexpectedly or inflation were to fall more quickly than anticipated, we are prepared to respond. Policy is well positioned to deal with the risks and uncertainties that we face in pursuing both sides of our dual mandate. The Fed has been assigned two goals for monetary policy: maximum employment and stable prices. We remain committed to bringing inflation back down to our 2% goal and to keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Restoring price stability is essential to achieving maximum employment and stable prices over the longer run. Our success in delivering on these goals matters to all Americans. We understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country. Everything we do is in service to our public mission. We at the Fed will do everything we can to achieve our maximum employment and price stability goals. Thank you. I look forward to your questions.
Gina. Gina Smilik from the New York Times. Thanks for taking our questions. Markets pretty much entirely expect a rate cut in September at this stage. I wonder if you think that's a reasonable expectation, and if so, why not just make the move today?
Thank you. So on September, let me say this. We have made no decisions about future meetings, and that includes the September meeting. The broad sense of the committee is that the economy is moving closer to the point at which it will be appropriate to reduce our policy rate. In that, we will be data dependent, but not data point dependent. So it will not be a question of responding specifically to one or two data releases. The question will be whether the totality of the data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks are consistent with rising confidence on inflation and maintaining a solid labor market. If that test is met, a reduction in our policy rate could be on the table as soon as the next meeting in September.
Oh, shit.
So you asked why not today, and I would just say, again, that the broad sense of the committee is that we're getting closer to the point at which it will be appropriate to reduce our policy rate, but that we're not quite at that point yet.
So that basically means that something extreme needs to happen for them not to cut rates in September. This should be very bullish.
So just to follow up on that a bit, if inflation behaves as you expect between now and September, would you regard a cut in September as sort of the baseline scenario right now?
So I guess I would think about it this way. I'll give an example of cases in which it would be appropriate to cut, and maybe that it wouldn't be appropriate to cut. So if we were to see, for example, inflation moving down quickly or more or less in line with expectations, growth remains, let's say, reasonably strong, and the labor market remains, consistent with its current condition, then I would think that a rate cut could be on the table at the September meeting. If inflation were to prove, stickier, and we were to see higher readings from inflation, disappointing readings, we would weigh that along with the other things. I think it's going to be not just any one thing. It's going to be the inflation data. It's going to be the employment data. It's going to be the balance of risks as we see it. It's going to be the totality of all of that that help us make this decision.
And just to follow up on that, specifically, in what ways right now, given all you've seen over the last few months in particular on shelter, on services, et cetera, in what ways are you not confident right now that inflation is on the way back to 2%?
I think it's just a question of seeing more good data. We have seen the last couple of readings have certainly added to confidence, and we've seen progress across all three categories of core PCE inflation. That's goods, non-housing services, and housing services. So it's really just, we had a quarter of poor inflation data at the beginning of the year. Then we saw some more good inflation data. We had 7 months at the end of last year. We just want to see more and gain confidence. And as I said, we did gain confidence, and more good data would cause us to gain more confidence.
Colby. Thank you. Colby Smith with the Financial Times. The March SEP pointed to 3 cuts in 2024 with core inflation at 2.6% and the unemployment rate at 4%. Since we're now at that level in terms of inflation and already beyond what was projected for the labor market, I'm just wondering if that rate path is back to being the best guidepost for policy rather than, let's say, the shallower one laid out in the June SEP.
So I would just say, really, the path ahead is going to depend on the way the economy evolves.
Yeah, okay.
And
we don't need to keep watching this. He just said it, that if just as long as there's no massive surprising increase in inflation, which they're going to manipulate to make it not happen, then they're going to cut rates in September. That's basically it. And or if like this jobs report just comes out and it is absolutely over the moon strong, they're going to cut rates in September. Everything leads to a September rate cut, which is going to be extraordinarily bullish leading into the election. It's programmed, folks. We're all good, baby, baby. All right. So let's all right. So either employment falls or inflation falls, they will change. Yeah, from what I heard, Michael, is that either if inflation falls or if inflation meets expectations, if employment, stays around the same, like strong but trending slightly down, we're easily getting the cut. They want to cut. What's up, Captain Stryker? But it has to be by a lot. Gina asked a good question. Cuts into the election. Pamp it. He needs inflation moving. Then they can cut. They aren't cutting. If inflation and unemployment don't fall hard, there will be no change. I don't believe that. I don't think it needs to. Employment, I think that he just said it, that if they are in the range of expectations, that then he'll cut rates. They're going to cut rates in September, and that's what the market knows. Yeah. No, we need employment to get tighter. We want less employed people to cut rates. We want less employed people. But I think it's already strong. Unemployment, their numbers are strong. Like I think we want that to tick up a bit, and then they're going to start cutting rates. Is this market manipulation? If you make a good data, just maybe we might do cuts. I mean, that's what I ended it with, huh? It needs to be higher. It is market manipulation. Why do you think I listen to it all the time? LOL, that's funny. Moon Juice crew reporting in Mr. Blue Sky. Moon Juice crew is in the building. Mooch, Captain Stryker. You guys love this Moon Juice. Fuck. Well, I don't own any Moon Juice. Where's my Moon Juice, man? No Moon Juice? All right, let's go to, let's just see real quick what CNBC is saying. Look at some crypto news, check out some prices, and go on our merry way and reconvene on Friday. All right, let's go here. Let's view it in here. Let's go right here. Let's put you over here. All right, baby. All right, baby, let's do this. All right, so we got the Dow rallying almost 400 points, nearly 1%. We got the S&P 500 back over 5,500, up 100 points, up almost 2%. And then old NASDAQ Freedom is at 490 points, up almost 3%. And the Russell 2K underperforming at all. NVIDIA pumping today. NVIDIA back up to 117, up 13%. Trump clashes with a black journalist. I don't want to talk about that. Meta set to report second quarter earnings after the bell. Oh, shit. That's a moving guy. Why is orange juice so expensive? I've noticed that. It's ticked up for sure. We drink a lot of OJ in this house. All right. AMD on the microphone. Where it's at. Who do you guys got on AI chips outside of NVIDIA? Where do you think those fuckers are going to come from? Who's going to compete with NVIDIA? Because you know the U.S. is going to regulate NVIDIA to a point where there's going to be a competitor, but they don't really seem to have much of a competitor right now, do they? All right, let's go to CoinDesk. EOS Desk, Peter Thiel's new pet project. Bitcoin pumping a bit, ETH pumping a touch, Tether not pumping. There's nothing pump about that. These things are hanging out in range. They're ranging right now. There's no pump, but XRP does. Tether nets $5 billion in profits this year, says its U.S. debt holdings surpassed Germany's. I was listening to this smart gal, Whitney Webb. She wrote an article that I have not read. I've just listened to her talk about it, but about how this dollarization and the strength of the dollar and like how these players that are behind Tether is all very U.S. centric. So maybe Tether's going to be all right after all. All right, the Fed holds policy steady, expresses more caution than expected on September rate cut. Okay. So I guess we didn't watch the Fed meeting like that. We're not going to watch the entire thing and really try to dissect because the market right now might love it. By the end of his little Q&A, he may say something that the market's like, oh shit, we have 100% price cut in September priced in. And then they're going to readjust and then we'll see some of those gains leave. We'll see though. Bitcoin price shrugs off latest 2 billion Mt. Gox transfer as distribution nears its end. That's pretty exciting that little dark cloud is going to be moving away. Let's get Pomp off of our screen. XRP is pumping. Let's see what the block's got for us. A16Z leads a 9 million Series A round for DePIN project Daylight. Are they measuring daylight? What's going on? Bitcoin posts slight gain after Fed holds rates steady, citing further progress toward 2% inflation, blah, blah, blah. Donald Trump is selling those stupid shoes. All right. That's particularly interesting. Compound considers fee redistribution after 24 million comp truce. There's a Robinhood dude. There's Coinbase, dude. Oh, when are they doing this? Analysts expect Coinbase to report lower revenues during its second quarter earnings call on Thursday. Okay, so that's tomorrow. That's a catalyst for the market, how they're doing. CEO of Goldman Sachs says that Bitcoin could be a store of value. I mean, does anybody else just feel like they don't own enough Bitcoin right now? I know that I know that who knows, you know what I mean? But it just feels so obvious, and they are fudding it a little bit. But I mean, I don't know, man. I've been adding it for years, and not at a rate, obviously I'm now so convinced, this is definitely not financial advice, but I feel convinced for myself that this is headed in the right direction. And I've been adding for years, and I still look at my bag and I'm like, okay, you need more sats. I mean, the move that I've made to do that, well, I have some on in the Polkadot ecosystem, earning on the on hydration. That's been cool because it's a omni pool. There's a bunch of different assets in the pool, and you know, the Bitcoin that I put in there is still worth the same amount of Bitcoin that I put. I mean, meaning the amount of Bitcoin that I put in there is the same after months. So impermanent loss hasn't been hit. And I've been earning. But anyways, that's one way. And then I also just buy $10 of Bitcoin every single day of my life. $10 is bought every day using Swan, no fees, and no fees to move it off of Swan. It's pretty cool. So if you want to do that with me, you can reach out to me and I'll give you a link. And I think that helps me somehow. But I have a link. If you want to join me with the adding $10 of Bitcoin a day, you can do, or you could do it per week, whatever you want. I'm just buying it every day until a massive pump, and then I'll cut it off. But $10 is affordable. I mean, it's not going to change my life, but it just means that I'm adding sats every day because I'm convinced. I mean, this dude's got most of his fucking wealth, he said, in Bitcoin. That's crazy. He's a Kennedy, a lawyer, married to a TV star. It's wild. Alts are really underperforming too. I mean, guys, like, fuck. You know what I mean? All right. How's that for insight? Alts are really underperforming. I mean, guys, fuck. You know what I mean? Isn't that fun? Doing a great job. All right. So let's go here. Let's go to CoinMarketCap and let's see what's going on. Okay. So we are neutral in the fear and greed. In the last hour, we're ticking down a touch. Ethereum is just hanging out around 3,300. I wish it would get down below 3,301 so it could get into my concentrated, so I could start earning rewards again on Aerodrome. It's okay. Been using Aerodrome on base. You guys out there like exploring the different things? I am. Solana is ticking down a touch, but still it's over $180. You know, if this thing absolutely becomes the locked in number 3 of the industry, I will have played it wrong. I'm not going to lie. Because I hold next to zero soul. It's okay. Avalanche at number 12, ticking up a touch, but down, underperforming in the last week, sub $27. Polkadot is falling, and it's falling fast. Bitcoin Cash, after the Mt. Gox distribution, up 17%. That's going to fall. But yeah, Polkadot not doing great at 550. Be covering that more on my show. Stacks on stacks on stacks, green across the board, 180. We're doing good there. Hedera hash graph is red across the board in the 6s. Probably not a ton of stoked people over there. Sui, 72 cents. This is one of those VC tokens that could surprise. Thorchain ticking down. Algo. Number 66, over 14 cents. Volume, 30 million, not high, but a little bit better, I guess. And then up almost 2% over the last 24 hours. So it's back up over 14 cents. That's pretty good. Only down 1% in the last 7 days. That's better than its homies around it. Most of them, at least. And it's slightly down on the hour. We got some interesting news recently in the SEC is taking away the part of Algorand and others being securities in the Binance lawsuit. I think that's mainly because they want to streamline it, and they don't want the judge to have to determine that, probably because they'll probably lose that, and that'll complicate other things. So they removed that completely. Does it mean that they're going to abandon that totally? But it is just a bullish sign. Let's go to Vestige, where all the homies are at, so we can see the homies at Moon Juice. Why does Moon Juice sound so familiar? Outside of this. Okay, so GORA is like, look, I'm tired of going down. I'm ready to go back up. Good job, GORA. All right, Tiny, where are you at, Tiny? Tiny is at wow, the TVL is growing steadily. We're looking at, okay, so only 9% is circulating. There you go. Total supply is $1 billion. The fully diluted market cap is 41 million. That's pretty big for a DEX token on Algorand. Volume is high. Holy shnikes. We got a centralized exchange listing coming soon. And yeah, nearly 400,000 TVL. So this is great. Up 35%. The price action is good. It's good. Over 4 cents. So far, so good, folks. Moon Juice, Rocket Fuel is up almost 100%. And a $45,000 market cap, and there's 6,600 stable TVL. Old Woody's up 9%. Got back over 100,000 market cap. I almost bought some actually when it was at 94,000. Gora's up 32.33%. Just took back 9 cents. So there you go. That slide down hopefully is going to, it's been so fast that hopefully this will go whoo. Send it going. But that, it's better than that not happening for all you GORA holders. Polka Gold ticking down 8 cents. Probably a slow exit there. DFly ticking up. Tiny overtook DFly and is about to overtake Polka Gold. It's pretty much a no-brainer. That's about to happen. And then you're going to have Chips and Tiny at the top. So it's happening, folks. It's definitely happening. Vestige ticking down. Opal sub 10 cents. KubeCoin is back over, I guess it was always over 5 cents, but there's been an exit. I'm sure a lot of people are swapping their Coop for their Tiny. GORA, like we said, is pumping. Cometa is looking at taking 6 cents back. Akita pushing down. Nico sideways. Definite showing strength, always shows strength. Barb pushing down. Big Red, baby. Algo 200, it's up a little bit in the last 24 hours. And that 6.5, sub about a little over half a penny. Old Cocky Freedom, not a lot of action there. But Cocky Freedom's that has a 20,000 TVL. Part of the token wars. A lot of yield out there. Sort of don't understand why people aren't participating in these Compex or packed farms. It's crazy. Crazy yield for TD and Kakenu and Kimbo. Why am I still scrolling? Okay, Zone. Whatever happened to that? Zone. You're not in the zone anymore, Zone. All right, folks. Well, we did it. I'm not going to look at the transparency report. They seem to be doing a better job. We can look at this. Let's make sure there's nothing here. we got this weird. Here, let's get out of here, and then I'll talk to you guys, and then I'm gonna leave. I think I'm gonna watch the U.S. versus Sudan. I think that starts in 1 minute, or I read that wrong and it started 3 hours ago. But I'll watch the replay. Sudan almost beat them in the showcase stuff. So big fan, big fucking fan. I love the Olympics, by the way. I like the Olympics. I've liked them ever since. I think it's great that it brings the entire world together to compete. You get opportunities like you saw this North Korea and South Korea athletes taking selfies together. Those poor North Korean athletes are probably in for a shit show when they go home, or maybe they knew they could do that. I don't know. But you just see a lot of that type of coming together, and it's just sportsmanship. People achieving their dreams and representing their country and the pride that they feel, the hard work paying off, and then the pride they feel as they stand up there is just fucking awesome to me. I love watching it. And I know I've been talking to people about that opening ceremony, and I could give a shit. Honestly, I could give a shit about the opening ceremony. I mean, it was kind of weird. The only people that I think should give a shit about the opening ceremony are the French people. If the French people look at that ceremony and be like, that does not represent us, well, then that's probably an issue. But it was that ceremony is supposed to represent the country, right? To showcase the country and its values. And the French have always been a bunch of like artistic weirdos to me, in my view. They've been great to me, actually, the French. When my early days as an actor were, I got hired, my first real commercial, I got hired by Michel Gondry, who was the French director of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and some other awesome movies. And it was a Microsoft commercial where I ran into an invisible wall and smashed a hot dog in my face. It was cool that was like the first director that I got to work with. It was fucking Michel Gondry. And then my first movie was Luc Besson. I got flown to Normandy and got to play George Lucas in a Luc Besson film. And then, this has nothing to do with the French, but I had a friend and a playwright who just, I think, won the fucking Pulitzer. Certainly won the Tony. He may have won the Pulitzer. I'm not sure. But I did a bunch of theater with that guy, and I used to play ball with him at the YMCA in the East Village, and he had played professionally in France. That guy, I love that guy. Super talented dude. Wrote like edgy, fun, and brilliant plays, and now I think he's a showrunner of a show called American Rust. So he's got a big job now. Always had a big job. He was always, very successful. But just imagine him. He played a long time ago. He's in his 50s, I'm sure now. Yeah, because he was a lot older than I am. He's in his 50s, and he played professionally in France. To look back now, be like, wow, I played professionally in France, and look where that league is now. I mean, every year we're getting these new French stars. We have Wemby this year, or last year. We have that Zachariah kid this year. Like, they're all, so the French are really playing some ball. Anyways, I love the fucking Olympics and could care less. I posted look, we don't need to get into these types of things on the show. I don't really care. But like the fact that what appears to be male-born athletes boxing female-born athletes is one of the craziest things that our society is doing. Somebody, a well-intentioned person in the Algorand community, pushed back and said that he thinks that the trans panic is gross. I'm not panicked about shit. I'm not panicked. I just think that is horribly unfair to women. I just don't get it. She venture or the community member said, well, they were born a woman, and I don't know. I mean, but that's not what I've read. And it's not just from X posts, it's from like NBC articles. I mean, they've been disallowed because they had the XY chromosome. Then like this intersect. And then you can go, and then you go into these threads on Twitter where the arguments are just name calling, and there's like a real arrogance to this, the transgender community, and like how smart they are about science and how stupid everybody else is. And it is cringe. Is that the word? It is so fucking weird. Pushing away anybody and everybody that is sane. You are alienating anybody. I've never met anybody that thinks a person that was born a man should be punching a female born woman. I've never met that person in real life. I've never met somebody that thinks that was male born should be competing in swimming versus female born people. I've never met anybody that thinks that that is fair, or in the case of fighting, safe. Literally never met a person that thinks that's true, that said that. I'm sure I've met people that do indeed think that's true and will do the gymnastics needed to make that true. But it's just like, it's painful. And all you're doing is alienating your movement more and more and more. I don't have a problem with anybody doing anything that they want to do. I'll treat everybody with respect, dignity. I'll call you by your pronoun if I can. If I remember. If you hate me for fucking it up, I'm sorry. Bye-bye. You know what I mean? But I will do what I can to be a good person to you, because I could give a shit what you do, just as long as it doesn't affect my kids directly, or kids in general, really. And I think it's and I will speak up because I think it's ridiculous that somebody that was born a man can be punching a woman in the face and we're all celebrating it and like being like, what are we talking about? Sorry. There you go. This is my solution. I solved retail theft last week with my paintball thing. So this is okay. So Coop 2024. This is my solution to this problem. So my retail theft problem solution is that everybody in retail is allowed, is not required, is allowed to pack a paintball gun. There will be signs outside of the retail store being like, staff is armed with paintballs. And if you steal, you get tagged. That all the staff can just shoot you all they want with the paintballs, and you're gonna have to walk out with a bunch of paint all over yourself. And then if the cops decide to get you, they'll see, oh, this guy's a thief. So I solved that problem. There's no holes in the logic of that. It is bulletproof, and that we're running on that. This is my solution. I'll give two options. The more inclusive option is this. At the Olympics, there will be a male track, there will be a male-born track, a female-born track, and a transgender track. So the transgenders can compete against themselves. There'll be like a female transgender track, and there'll be a male transgender track. Or we just have a transgender Olympic. They have their own event, and it can, and they can compete against each other in a wonderful event that they all do. It'll be like the opening ceremony can be this insane, awesome show. There can be like, has anybody else? There's a transgender, or no, there's a I'm going to stop talking about this. There's like a trans bingo game somewhere near where I live. Okay, folks. Hey, it's been fun. I'm glad that I talked. I'm glad anywhere but Germany, buddy, man. Okay, let's hear what we got. Nice haircut. Thanks, man. I have go on Algo. There you go. Good. Cool. You got exposure, right? You can use that on folks' finance. This is how rich people are going to do it. This is where we're headed with Bitcoin, is you're never going to have to sell your Bitcoin. You're just going to borrow against it. Is that where we're headed? Come on, please. Please. Let these idiots online be right that, something like 0.1 Bitcoin is generation wealth. Please make that true. And then they're coming to, then we're going to be borrowing against it. So you can use folks' finance and borrow against your Go BTC and your Wrap Bitcoin and never have to sell. Is programmatically deflationary. That's cool. Mooj, man. Come on. There you go. Moon juice. I like moon juice. Why do I think about moon juice When I think about moon juice, what is it that I'm thinking of moon juice? Mr. Blue Sky just sits in Algorand. Hey, that's a conviction too. That means I hope you're finding strategies, Mr. Blue Sky, to grow that through DeFi, because it has been inflationary in DeFi because of TDR for a while. So I hope you're finding ways to get yield if you're just sitting it. But that's conviction in Algorand, and if Algorand pays off on its promise, then you're going to do better than I will. I have Algo, obviously, and I'm using Algo. I have all types of things in Algo. Lots of Algo. And I realized that. And so I was like, okay, well, we got to get out there. We got to learn other things. We got to grow this channel. We got to grow this platform. I want to use other things. I need to talk about other things. We need to make this a bigger event. And then hopefully that onboards more people to more things. And places like Tiny Man and Folks Finance and, all of these different protocols that are on Algorand right now that are underused get more used. For better or worse, Captain Stryker. And there you go. For better or damn worse. And that is a strategy to go. Like, diversification can be a poor man's strategy. My strategy has been add Bitcoin and then blah, 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 blah. Fuck, I probably don't have enough ETH. I should probably get a little of that. Okay, I like Polkadot. Let's learn more about that. Let's add to that. Okay, Avalanche is interesting. Let's fucking just get going. This is a thing that we can do. And then, Stacks, because of Bitcoin, Algorand, I got to do testnet, Folks Finance. I got to do these things. Oh, I got a tiny, why didn't I get a bigger airdrop for tiny? There's a whole bunch of shit going on. And I'm exposed to a different ways. Check BTC dominance chart. Let's do it. All right. So it's actually down a touch today. But in the last week, it's up 1%. In the last month, it's up 2.5%. In the last 6 months, it's up 6%. Year to date, it's up 8%. In a year, it's up 12%. So Bitcoin continues to grow and is dominant. Magical Mayhem says, look at Vivitoken. Hey, nice haircut. Thanks, man. Vivitoken on Cometa. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what Vivitoken is. I know what Cometa is. It's like if enough people play a sport, you can find a good one in the masses. It's like if you find enough people play. Coop makes the gang commit assault. Where's the transgender camp again? I don't know. Anywhere but Germany. Yeah, we'll have the Special Olympics for that. Well, look, I presented two different options, buddy man. They can either just have their own like category, or they can have their own Olympics. We wouldn't call them special. It's Buddy Man says, in my opinion, we need a white NFL and a black NFL. The whites can't keep up. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Oh, we got Christian McCaffrey, probably the top running back in the entire league. We got lots of quarterbacks, lots of wide receivers, not a lot of cornerbacks, not a lot of defensive backs. That's true. I think the whites are doing just fine in the NFL. They just need to do better. See? Moon juice, it's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes. Oh, shit. So it's not just juice. They're adding electrolytes into that moon juice. How many white DBs? I actually think one just got drafted, but I think literally there hasn't been one in 20 years. It's one of the funnier statistics. Like white people clearly just can't run back that fast, backwards that fast. Is that fun? I don't know. I'm laughing, but is that fun? Like, but I really think one just got drafted. Because I've talked about this. How many white wide receivers? There's a lot. There's a lot of famous ones. There's a lot of them. Adam Thielen comes to mind. Hunter Renfrow, Jordy Nelson. Lots of tight ends. Travis Kelce, top tight end in the league. Gronk, tight end. Lots of them. There's a ton of them. A lot of offensive linemen. Not a ton of running backs, but Christian McCaffrey is a highlight for sure. Mike Allstott. What do you guys want? A lot of fullbacks, even though fullbacks are almost gone on the 49ers. We got, what's his face? Kyle Juszczyk. His wife makes jackets that Taylor Swift wore. Cooper Kupp. Zero starters, zero backups. Must be genetically unfair. Cooper Kupp, retired. Yeah, Cooper Kupp, one of the top ones. And basketball, lots of white people. Look, if it is controversial that I think is weird, I think it's crazy that and maybe they're not male born and maybe this information is bad or something like that. Like I don't think that we all should I don't force these people to pull down their pants. You know what I mean? I don't care enough for that. But if it really seems odd to me that it would be a controversial statement to say that male born people should not be boxing against female born people. Okay. It's just a wild thing to think. In my honest opinion, and it's a weird thing to defend. And fine, I mean, if you're like, look, bro, like, hey man, I want these people to be able to beat these bitches up, bro. You know, knock that hoe down, dog. Hey, it don't matter that by all accounts you look like a dude named Frank. Let's let Frankie. Call her Frankie, man. She'll go beat that bitch up, bro. Bust that nose, maybe even fucking give her some brain issues, you know what I'm saying? Because of them bone densities. Oh, man. I give a fuck, man. I've been in this world. I've been in the acting industry for a while. Lived in New York, Los Angeles, and San Francisco, Bay Area. I've been in those places, and I been told what I was supposed to say and what I was not supposed to say for a while, and I played the game, and I don't play that shit anymore, dude. I am a nice person that wants people to. Am I a nice person? I don't even know. But I am an open-minded person. There it is. I'm an open-minded person that wants people to live the damn life that they want. But I'm not going to sit here and let myself be gaslit and afraid of some consequence of speaking the most obvious goddamn truths that exist. We're turning back the clock. By the way, folks, there's only 10 of you, so who gives a shit? We're talking about all this stuff. I haven't had a drink in about 10 days. Pretty soon the skin is going to glow even more, folks. There's going to be a plumpness. The lucidity is going to be insane. We're going for it, folks. We're going to make it happen. I'm going to be the make it happen captain. I'm going to do recorded videos again. I'm going to have to fucking edit those goddamn things again. And I'll just keep on calling it like I see it. You know what I'm saying? Here, this is for its buddy, man. Let's look. Wes Welker is another legend. Hold on. Here you go. Rankers got us. The best white wide receivers. Let's just look at it. We're on bonus time right now, even though I should be watching Sudan versus UNES. Let's see. The best 25. Cooper Kupp. There he is. Adam Thielen. There he is. Hunter Renfrow. Okay, that's a steep drop off. So we might be getting too obscure. We got a little obscure early, but I did mention him. Justin Watson. Okay. Alec Pierce. Okay. Braxton Berrios, heard of him. Scotty Miller. He's good. That guy. Okay. Trent Taylor. I think he was drafted by the 49ers. I remember him. Okay, so we've got real obscure real quick. Fine. But tight ends, those are good wide receivers. All right. We're scrolling now. Top 25. I yelled at you for your woke bullshit, buddy, man. Jesus Christ. Somebody call Native. Tell him he was right about this fucking pussy. Just kidding, dude. I love you. All right. Just all good. All right, folks. Hey, there we go. We advocated for women. Yeah, you lost me about 5 in. I know. Yeah, the list was obscure. I'm not gonna lie. Once we got from once we went from Adam Thielen, who's incredible, to Hunter Renfrow, we all found out that the drop off is pretty steep. And then we got to Braxton Berrios because all my fantasy football friends out there, we know who Braxton Berrios is. Are you guys excited about I'm just kidding, man. I think that because I feel like you can take it. That's why I'm joking about it. But I don't know if you can take it. I've never met you in person. Anybody going to go to Koopa Palooza? Where are we going to do that? We should have a side event. So Bitcoin conference next year is going to be in Las Vegas. Should we do a side event? A really janky side event for KoopCoin? Julian Edelman. Yeah, didn't I say? And Wes Welker. The Patriots. Every Patriot. All right, folks. I gotta go. All right, I'm done. Even though this is fun. How are the prices real quick? Is it pumping? No. It's doing the opposite of pumping. Okay, well, we're back. So the good news is Ethereum dipped to get back into my concentrated liquidity range. So I'm now earning Arrow again. Thank you. We need a nice consolidation around 3,275 would be fantastic. Bitcoin is now ticking below 66. No, it's not. It's 66. It's below 66,100. All right. I didn't even share, but I'm just telling you guys. Okay, to be honest, I have a friend who transitioned, and my wife played against a trans woman in roller derby. Okay, well, I'm not saying that your wife can't play against a trans woman in roller derby. That's a completely different thing than, and he doesn't fully understand it either. I have no issues with a friend anybody transitioning. There's no issue. And then if I said, if I meet somebody and they want me to, and it's obviously I'm not the type of person that somebody comes up to me, looks a lot like what I would think a man would look like, but clearly making an effort to look like a woman. I'm not going to be there calling them sir. I'm going to call them ma'am or something. I don't know, her or whatever, because it looks like that's what they want. I'm not that. I just want things to make sense. I mean, when a swimmer, for example, has competed in the male track and was a high level swimmer, but getting mid results, and then they transition and now they're competing against women and dominating, the world is stupid. That makes no sense, and it shouldn't be allowed. Wife, did Coop just say his wife transitioned? No, in my life. Met when I meet somebody in my life. Like, look, if I were with like a girl, I have a story. I'll tell you guys a story. Story time for the 9 people that are remain, because we're not even on Twitter. In my early years, this is a fun story, I think. In my early years of being a young man, I dated a girl in a city called Alameda, from a city called Alameda. And she was like, I grew up in a more like conservative family, even though it was the Bay Area, definitely a conservative family. I was an altar boy, confirmation, all of these things. I met this girl in the theater. She was cute. She had like a nice fashion sense. She listened to Ani DeFranco and like Incubus and cool stuff too, Blink 182, and kind of introduced me to all of this stuff. Like really had these kind of feminist views that I didn't even understand. I didn't know. She was interesting to be around, and we had fun together. She ended up moving to San Diego from the Bay Area to go to school after a couple of years, and so we broke up. She always told me that we weren't going to be together because our values weren't the same and all this shit. But I whatever. I liked her because she was a trip and she was cute. And she left, and we broke up. I ended up getting together with this Greek girl, very different, cooked for me, was wonderful, lovely, very opposite of the girl that I was with. But I was just dating the Greek girl at this point. And then the girl from the previous girl is coming back up to visit from San Diego and wants to see me. So when I go pick her up to hang out, she has shaved her head, right? This is why I thought of this. She shaved her head, and I was a young man, very young man at this point, and I thought that was a bit weird, but I didn't really care either. She was still cute to me. But she had shaved her head. She wasn't like she went like full hippie, right? Like, even though she's still shaved, but she went full hippie and was like her bathing in the ocean, man, and all this stuff. Well, we went on a hike, right? And this like favorite hike that I had in that area. And we go to the top, and there's like a rock, we're at the top and very secluded. Not a lot of people know about this hike, but I had done it with some friends. We'd go up there, smoke weed and whatever we would do up there. And so me and this girl end up going at it on this rock. And, she's kind of like mounted on the rock, and I'm doing this thing. And for lo and behold, I see 2 of my close, like 2 friends, not my close friends, but they're like good friends of my close friends. So I know them very well. And I see them walk, and then they see me, and then they look and they see that I'm having intercourse with a bald, which looks like a dude. And they thought I was having sex with a guy, and they never let me live that down. So there you go. So maybe my wife has transitioned. Folks, I appreciate you. I did. It was funny though. They would always give me shit, and then I would like show them pictures and be like, look, it's a girl. It was funny. It was definitely provided many years of them snickering and laughing at me. Botanists understand this, but okay, let's see. We got true. Haha. I think men and women should be as God made them, and let that be it. No, I did not say that. And boxing has to be the most extreme example. I don't fully understand it. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what's triggered me into being like, what? I'm a transition to a woman to beat the fuck out of Coop. Wait a second. Then that would be, that'd be more fair. That'd be more fair. If that's true, I can box a little though. I can fight a little, Rich. Let's see. I can see your picture. It looks like maybe you can too. But that'd be a funny thing to do. And yes, I logged in with the wrong account. Oh, wait. This is Rich Flair. We're boxing. We're playing basketball. Is that you? I want to click on this, but I don't want to hide you. That's not what I'm trying to do. If you were a woman, Coop would probably like the beating. True. Haha. Now it is true about my wife. She has a black belt. She has 2 black belts in karate. She's kind of a badass. There's more stories I could tell, but I got to go. But I mean, I could still take her. Anyways, I think men and women should be as God made them. Okay, botanists understand. I mean, whatever. I agree. I agree, but I also just don't give. I don't care how people are and what they do and how they want to live. I just really don't. I just really don't. So I just got to, I'm going to be a parent to my children and try to set them up for success and not a world of confusion. Wait for, and everyone whip their dicks out. Now, something tells me Coop will be asked to remove this video by his wife after the show. She won't watch. At least we're all here to watch before it gets deleted. Yeah, don't tell her. Okay. Friends call me Shaq. Oh, what? Oh, so this is Shaq. Oh, this is what you look like, dude? You a blonde guy? That's cool. I like Shaq. At least we're all here to watch before it gets deleted. Yeah, she knows that story. I don't think she'll be offended. Or you're talking about where I said I could take her. Yeah, even my wife, who is a black belt, if I transition, I could still beat the shit out of her. You know what I'm saying? Don't clip this out, please. All right. Hey guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I think I appreciate you, just as long as you guys keep these secrets. There's only 8 of us, so just keep these secrets, and then I'll still appreciate you. All right, folks, I will see you. Check for ants. Did you guys see what is the yield on Yield Yak right now for Coop? Coop. My wife's actually going to kill me because she wants my help. Yield. Coop. No. Oh, a meager 3,812%. Hell yeah. Give it to me hard. All right, folks. Hey, I appreciate you. I will see you on Friday. We'll have fun. Hopefully, I'll be verified. Maybe, hey, Doof, I'm going to have to just rock my profile picture for a little bit longer. So once I get verified, I can stream again. Good morning. Sorry. What are you sorry about? It's okay. Buonasera. Buonasera, Coop. Hey, ciao. All right, folks. I appreciate you. Doofy, I'm going to have to keep the Scully Friends as my profile picture, at least until verification, and then streaming a couple of things. And then when there's a chunk of days that I'm not going to stream, I'll change it back or change it to something else. But this won't let me stream on Twitter because of new rules on X, which is annoying. All right, folks. I'll talk to you on Friday. Have a good day. May your bags grow